What's going on? Let's talk golf balls. Today we're talking all about PGA Tour 2K25 golf balls and whether or not they are completely worth the VC that you have to spend on them, or they are completely worthless and don't actually give you the boost. Also give you the sneak peek about which golf ball actually is the best to use based on your game. That's what it's all about, giving you guys as much information as possible. All I ask in return, a little like, a little subscribe. You let people know about the video and how it helped you. That's what it's all about. If you are just checking out this one for the first time, there are 16 or 15 other videos that will tell you everything you need to know about the game. In future videos here, we're looking at live range is going to be coming up later this week. Also, my practice test course, that video will be going out tomorrow, is now live for you guys to play. So I'm going to give you guys a quick run through that tomorrow. Like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe. Let's dive on into it. Just so that people know how the golf ball works, we should just cover that really quickly. The golf ball, it matches the same EVO levels that your clubs match. So there's just your core level, then there's the emerald, which is green, and then there is the sapphire. The difference between the emerald and the core, the max level for the core is 10, the max level for the emerald is 12, the max level for the sapphire is plus 14 attributes there. There's 3 different types of golf balls in PGA Tour 2K23. There was an issue because there was one that slowed down the greens, and that is no longer. They got rid of that golf ball, so don't worry. It does not exist in this game. So there's 3 different golf balls. There's Flight, which is supposed to help you manage through the wind. There is Forgiveness, which is supposed to help you manage how you miss left and right. And then lastly, there is a Spin golf ball. So I'm going to rank all 3 of these in a tier list of which ones I think are the most important. So we will go through them one at a time. But you can see there's numbers underneath them, which means how many do you have of this category. For instance, if I play a round, I have 50 here. Every single round that I play, I'm going to use one of these consumable golf balls. So my 50 will go to 49, and then if I play 50 rounds, I will have no more of these golf balls. You can either buy them in the PGA Superstore, or you can earn them as you go and play. So that's pretty much how the golf balls go. And just for reference, obviously, I showed the Sapphire here with the Pro V1. I have a different golf ball, and I tested everything at the plus 10 level. I did not test it at the plus 14 level, because I wanted it to balance across all 3, whether you have the core, the emerald, and the Pro V1, and that's pretty much why I did it. But there was very marginal gains between the plus 2 and plus 4, so it's going to be very marginal of the plus 12 to plus 14 when it comes to a bigger difference of results, per se. So that's pretty much like how golf balls work and everything you need to know on that. So let's dive into the actual results, and let's start with the Flight golf ball here. So one of the first tests you can see here is this is a stock shot, and you can pay attention to that top of that tree right there as a right. I use that as a reference to determine how high the golf ball hits in a stock standard shot. So I showed a 9-iron, I showed a 7-iron, and you can see that each shot pretty much goes just to the top of that tree to the right. When you actually have the golf ball equipped, there is no difference when it comes to the height of the actual golf ball. So you should just know that right out of the gate, because these 2 shots here that you're seeing are actual with the golf ball equipped. They are going the same height as the actual shot itself. There's a lot of testing involved into this. Obviously, I use the tree as a marker, but you can use this just to see the height of the tree. The ball does not actually change when it comes to the height of the actual golf shot. So when it comes to reduced effect for verticality of height of the shot, there is no difference when it comes to that. Now, when it comes down to the wind aspect of it, you can see here now that we're going into a 14-mile-an-hour wind. There was no difference when it came to the actual reading of the numbers. So if you haven't seen my wind video, highly recommend go checking it out. But whether I had the golf ball equipped or not, there was no difference in the actual number calculations. It still was the same 1.4, 1.5 calculation that I had been running in all previous across the bag as well. The height did not change. It was pretty much the same exact spot on calculations in all different types of wind, no matter fast or long. Now, where does this actually affect? You can see here, these numbers that I'm cycling through quickly are my stock yardages. My driver was 283. I'm all the way down 201. These are the stock yardages for my golf clubs. And you can see here, I'm just cycling through them and how this golf ball actually plays a huge effect into this game. What it actually does is it doesn't really manage effect, but it gives you extra stock carry yardage when it comes to these clubs. So you can see here that, so those were the stock yardages. Now, if we compare that directly to when the golf ball is equipped, how much did I see an increase? Well, when it came to the driver, you can see it's now, my carry is now up to 304, which is an 11-yard increase. I saw my my woods increase from 10 to 7 yards. I saw all of my irons increase in carry yardage between 4 to 7 yards as well. As you go here, you can see there's 234, that was originally 227. 208 was originally 201, 195 was originally 190, 184 was originally 178, 171 was originally 167, and then you just keeps on going down the list. When it came down to the wedges, I saw the minimal gain of 2 to 3 yards. So when it came down to the flight golf ball, the biggest impact that I actually saw was not when it came to height of the golf ball. It was not when it came down to calculating numbers differently. There was no effect that. The only difference that I saw was my stock carry yardages increased between 2 to 11 yards, depending on what type of club it was. Obviously, that's probably because those shots go higher and lower, like your driver's going to fly lower than a wedge shot. So that's how that golf ball worked when it came down to calculations. And I would rank that as probably the most important golf ball to use, simply because distance is king when it comes down to golf. So let's move on to the next golf ball. Now we're going to move on to the spin golf ball, and I'm going to show you here. The spin golf ball, this is a 100-yard shot with no spin whatsoever into it. Well, by no spin whatsoever into it, I mean no spin golf ball equipped. You can see there that the golf ball stopped just after the hole, and I'm going to play it again here for you. So this is, like I said, no golf ball equipped spin. So this is how much I can spin a golf ball with no golf ball equipped. It comes just short of the hole. And now that I have the spin golf ball equipped, you'll see the difference between the amount of spin. For a plus 10, you will see that it spins back probably an extra yard or two, and it almost goes into the hole. But when it came down to it, it was very marginal gains. And I'm just going to show this to you guys again. Obviously, the no golf ball equipped didn't get back to the hole. But when it came to the 100-yard shot, the spin golf ball was able to pull back that extra yard or 2 yards. Now, when it came down to applying max spin, so this is a 156-yard shot, max spin with no golf ball equipped, you will see that the golf ball lands just about, 5 yards short of the actual shot, and it stops relatively quickly when it comes down to it. Now, when I come to the golf ball actually equipped and max spin, there really was a marginal amount of difference when it came down to the actual shot. I did not lose any carry, but it was really about 1 yard of actual stopping power. So that really, wasn't anything too crazy. Now, when it came down to chipping, I actually really didn't see much spin difference at all. I'll show you here. This is the first chip, is a chip with no, and I tested this throughout multiple different levels. So that's with no golf ball equipped, and this is with a golf ball equipped. You can see the golf ball rolls out pretty much to the exact same spot. And I tried it in multiple different lies as well, so there was no difference whatsoever. Now, when it came down to wind, I actually saw that this golf ball did get stuck in the wind a little bit more, but the distance numbers did not change. So calculations for this golf ball still were accurate to the numbers, but it just seemed like the ball kind of got spun up in the wind a little bit more. However, it did not change. So I would rank that golf ball actually as the third best golf ball and the worst golf ball to use, simply because I didn't really see that big of a difference, and I didn't think the spin applied that really the testing was a very marginal gain when it came down to spin, and I didn't really think it was really necessary to hold greens when it comes down to it. So lastly, when it came down to the next golf ball, which is the forgiveness golf ball, this took hundreds of shots to find percentages that match up to each other, but I'm going to give you just a quick overview here as these slides kind of play through. When it came down to forgiveness, I played it on a legend setting. That was the settings that I used. I hit, like I said, hundreds of shots. You can see I used my very similar stop signs that I've used previously to calculate this out. And the difference was about a 5-yard difference of keeping it in play. So these are just some of the examples here, but the difference was about 5 yards left to right of forgiveness. So if you hit your shot normally, 10 yards to the left because it was an overswing, then the calculations were about a 5-yard differences per percentage. So that was really the difference between having the golf ball equipped versus not equipped when it came down to it. So I would rank that as probably the second best golf ball that you can have, just because there was a significant difference in forgiveness when it came down to that golf ball. So that's pretty much going to wrap up this video here. So just to recap a little bit things here, I would rank the flight golf ball to be the best simply because you get an increased amount of carry yardages with your club. I would rank the forgiveness one second because it gets you somewhere between about a 3 to 5 yard forgiveness window of being less offline. And then lastly, the spin golf ball had marginal results, and I really would not emphasize using the spin golf ball. But like I said, these are just my testings. If you have found other things to be testing or other reasonings to help your game when it comes to these golf balls, please feel free to leave it in the comments section down below. I'm always open to other suggestions and other testing methods as well. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate you all.